Hello, everyone. This is LaVon McMillan, the CEO of Advocate for Me LLC in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And we are so excited. Y'all know I'm always excited, always excited when it's a guest on the show. And we have no other than Mr. Anthony Stover from the Ronald McDonald House of Charities. And so I'm excited to have him today. How are you, Mr. Stover?
Good. And like yourself, I'm also excited and honored to be with you and advocate for me this morning.
Awesome, awesome. So let me just give the audience just a little feedback of how we met. I went to the Ronald McDonald, the McDonald's concert, the gospel concert that they had, and Mr. Stover um came up on the stage and was talking about the Ronald McDonald House. And I'm in West Philadelphia. And as a child, I walked past the Ronald McDonald House multiple times from the old version of it to the new version of it, right on Chestnut Street. And I was in tears when Mr. Stover was talking because my son, most of the audience knows that he was born premature and he had like a lot of health issues. We still do now, but not as much. His first 5 years of life, and so if my mom and my mom did not live in West Philadelphia, I'm quite sure that I would have been the recipient of the Ronald McDonald House. And so that's why I was in tears. And so our partner organization, which is my son's foundation, Jordan A. Smith Foundation, um, we, my son and I talked, and I was like, we have to ask Mr. Stover to speaker for our award ceremony that we sponsored in December. And Mr. Stover said yes, and he came and he met everyone there, and it was just amazing. And to hear him when he did the keynote speech, as well as the connections that he made at the award ceremony, it was just a pleasure. And so I'm grateful to have you here today to share with our audience what the Ronald McDonald's House of Charities does for the Philadelphia community, and actually families all over, because families come to Philadelphia for a lot of care for their children. So, if Mr. Stover, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself and how you contribute to the Philadelphia area with the Ronald McDonald House.
Uh, Levon, thank you. And I also want to share, too, it was an honor at Jordan's fundraiser for his foundation. And it was just a wonderful evening, a room full of great people. And, I was honored to be there. The Ronald McDonald House, I've been with the house now for 23 years. I serve at this time as the community relations manager for the house, where I go out to events just like your son, Jordan B. Smith Foundation, and speak and identify donors, identify volunteers, and just bring brand awareness to our mission of bringing comfort and hope to families of seriously ill. As you stated, the Ronald McDonald House serves families from all over the world. Um, Founders, Jimmy Murray, who was the general manager of the Philadelphia Eagles, also served for many years as the president of the Autism Society. Um, but like you were saying, when you were a little girl, and some of the challenges that you were experiencing because you were in Philadelphia, it was easy for you to get back and forth to the hospital. So we do say that we asked our guests to live 25 miles outside of the house. And if they live 25 miles outside, within that 25-mile radius, we feel like being in a major metropolitan like Philadelphia, they can get back to the amazing. And as you well know, we do have amazing hospitals. We have CHOP, which is best in the world. We have which the Shriners Orthopedic and St. Christopher's Hospital for children. So, the world comes to Philadelphia for their care, and when they come, they need a place to stay, and that's what we do at the Ronald McDonald House. We provide a home from home for families of seriously ill children. Now, Levon, when you were a little girl, and like you said, when you were walking, much different now. When we first opened in 1974, it was a 9-bedroom house, up to 5 members per family, and that house was on Spruce Street, 44th and Spruce. Now we have two houses in Philadelphia, and we can serve up to 147 families a night. Again, up to 5 members. Now, so what do we do? As you well know, when you're dealing with a seriously ill child, it's a ill child, it's a seriously ill family. And our mission is to bring comfort and hope and have them nothing else but that seriously ill child. We provide rooms that have two bed, private bathroom, refrigerator, 250-inch TVs. As you well know, again, for me, is that a family is made up of all pieces, and the siblings is one part. When you have a ill child, the siblings kind of get, not left out, but forgotten about because the whole family's attention is the ill child. So at the house is built for children. We have ways to let them feel like a child again. When they check in, they get a new toy. When they check out, they get a new toy. Everything that's going on in the city, from our museums to our sporting events, we make available for them. In the house, there's Xbox and PlayStation and Wii, and there's many books. And if they're here for a long-term stay, we have staff that'll help continue their academics. Now, for our families that 25-mile radius, we still support the city where every hospital, Wills Eye, CHOP, Sacred, have a Ronald McDonald House floor where families can get out of that small space in the room and go and have dinner, coffee and tea, stretch, entertain guests, do laundry, whatever it may be. All that's 100% free. We also, if any of your listeners or your guests, we also have the House Mobile, where we go to 300 over 300 underserved schools in Philadelphia and provide care, and not just cleaning, but whatever is needed. If a cavity or uh, uh, a tooth needs to be pulled or capped or whatever, that is all provided and it's all free. And contact information if somebody's interested in those services. But in a nutshell, mission of the Ronald McDonald House. And the last thing I want to say is that, it started here in Philadelphia 49 years ago. We're getting ready to our 50th anniversary. We celebrated this week Pennsylvania Rare Disease Day. And because of what started here in Philadelphia, there are now 385 houses all around the world. So are, in other states or in other countries, you can identify a house, and whether you have, which I hope you don't have to experience what their offerings are, maybe there might be a volunteer opportunity where you can get involved. But I want to thank advocates for me again for giving me the opportunity to share and keeping us in the light. So, on behalf of the families we serve, a heartfelt thank you, Levon.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Stover. And I'm glad you talked about the volunteer. I did reach out to the contact person that you gave us for Jordan A. Smith Foundation. And so we'll be working on providing some kits for the families. Do you mind just talking briefly about like the volunteer opportunities?
Yes, I would. First of all, and thank you for asking that. So I started 23 years ago. A friend of mine, we were going out to have a beverage, and he was a volunteer there, and he asked me to stop. And I've been walking in ever since. The volunteer opportunity is not rigid at all. They ask that you commit to 2 days a month, 4 hours. So that's just 8 hours a month. Believe me, I believe that you'll be asking for more. They try to see where your core competency is to have you volunteering in that area. So if you're good with accounting, or you're good with facilities, or you're good culinary skills, or you're good with engaging people. That's where we want you to volunteer. It's a way in regards to building your network. Our volunteers are everything from CEOs to maybe street sweepers for the city and everything in between. The volunteering is 7 days a week, uh, 4 hours a shift, and you can choose. Uh, what is convenient for you to do that, as well as there's also staff opportunities too. And if you go on our website, rmh.org, that'll share a lot of ways to get involved. Part of our fundraising is doing it golf outings to bowling parties to throwing axes. You have a lot of fun in supporting a good cause. And all that information, Levon, can be found on our website.
Awesome. So with the fundraisers, I know the event that I attended was the concert, like the gospel concert. Are there
Yeah,
any other fundraisers that people can support in the future?
yeah, 100%. And the gospel concert is one that's special to me. I've been for like 18 years now, and we just came back because of COVID. COVID had stopped us, but we came back this year, and that is supported by the Black owner operators of McDonald's in Philadelphia. They support, and it's a gospel program, and they bring on the leading gospel artists, and raise about $30,000 for the Ronald McDonald House Charities here in Philadelphia. Today is a big day. I knew, which I was very much looking forward to. I had to podcast with you, but as soon as I get off of this call, I'm going to a bowling fundraiser at Mount Laurel Lanes in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And then this evening, I'm going fundraiser at Second and Market, Philadelphia. So again, in regards to our main events is our golf tournament. That's in June, but then we have a number of other different golf tournaments. Champions of Hope, where we honor a leading medical and a leading community giver in September. But again, Levon, on our website is where we list all these events. If you see something that you're interested in and you want to talk about, you can always give me a call.
Okay. Okay. Sounds great. Awesome. So I get as a I guess as a listener listening to the podcast, if I wanted to know like what was the steps. So if I come from, let's say, Texas to Philadelphia because I'm bringing my child to CHOP to have a surgery, um, and then while we're here, we get like different diagnoses that tells me that we're going to be here a little longer than what we expected. What's like the process? Does the hospital refer the families to the Ronald McDonald House, or what? Like, what's the steps to get a family into the Ronald McDonald House?
The first thing is if you're aware of the mission of the Ronald McDonald House, you can call directly to make a And what you want to let us know is the date that your child is going to be treated at the hospital. Now, in most cases, in dealing with children, people don't know about the Ronald McDonald House, and then the social worker will be the one that'll refer them or give them the information to call us. Now, what make a reservation. Uh, you can stay as long as your child is being treated at the hospital. We have a fee of $25 a night if you can. We know very well that these are challenging times for most of our families. You know, when you have a seriously ill child, you all of a sudden you're not going to work, and if you're not going to work, it's just a trickle effect. So turn the family away because of their inability to pay. We also have social workers on staff that can support families, a mortgage, getting an airline ticket, a car repair, whatever that financial challenge might be. But at the same time, though, too, we also have families that can stay at our best accommodations here in Philadelphia, whether it's the Ritz Carlton or the Four Seasons. But they choose to stay at the house because the therapeutic value of being around like people that are experiencing that. But yes, what you would do is if you know about the house, you can call us directly, or the social worker at one of the hospitals or our partners. They will let you know here is the opportunity here in regards to accommodation, up to 5 members that can stay at the house. And if we have full occupancy, is until we can get you in the house, we'll get you a discounted rate at the local hotels near the hospital. And I want to share is that, as I shared earlier about the financial challenges, even a discounted rate is too much of a mountain to climb for some of our families. And in that case, we'll cover the whole thing until we can actually get you into the house. And it's kind of funny when some families have to make a reservation. It's not familiar with the Ronald McDonald House, never heard of it or anything, and then they might call back an hour later say found something else. However, if we could talk to them, and when they get here, they just cry for the beauty of the house and the generosity of Philadelphians and volunteers and staff to make them bring comfort in this time of need. So yeah, so it's a simple process. We do ask that when your child hospital, you go ahead and check out of the house so we can make room for others. And again, we understand that in some cases that might need a day to do that.
Awesome, awesome. I'm trying not to cry over here because this is just beautiful. um, and I like how you said like my like families that's dealing with what you're going through, because sometimes you need that support system. Um, Yes, because it's, your family, like your immediate family might not understand what you're going through as far as your emotions, and, it's a lot. And I know you said, even with financially, like if your child is in the hospital, and I've done this myself. Jordan was in the hospital. I actually like resigned from some jobs because I'm like, my child is my focus right now, and I can't keep coming back and forth. Um, or if I was at work and somebody needed me and he's in the hospital, I'm like, I gotta go back to the hospital because they're calling me and I can't focus on what I'm doing at work. So
Yes.
I definitely know about that financial hardship. Um, as his first, like, I think I worked his first 5 years, I think I probably worked 1 full year. After
Yeah.
that, I was like, I gotta go. Because I wanted to focus on him. And some parents, they're able to do both, able to work and, make sure that their child is being taken care of. But the support system with your immediate family, sometimes they see you going through it, but they don't know exactly
Mm.
the emotions and the feelings that you're going through. So to have the Ronald McDonald House be able to bring families together. That's just amazing. And then I'm quite sure maybe the families still keep in contact once they leave the Ronald McDonald House, because they they build a rapport with each other.
That is correct. And my earlier statement of when you have a seriously ill child, you have a seriously ill family, and the close that you between the two of them just adds value to that seriously ill child. And I want to say this when I share about how we can help a family pay or whatever that financial challenge may be. When that is we. When I say we, that's like advocates for me in regards to what you guys do to support the house. That's our corporate partners. That's the Girl Scouts. That's the elementary schools. That's our neighbors. That's the we. That's the we.
And I love the fact of the community involvement with the Ronald McDonald House. Like I said, as a kid, I walked past it, and you spoke about the mobile, the dentist mobile, and I remember that I used to go to Drew School in West
Yeah.
Philadelphia. So I remember
Yeah.
it pulling up and us being so excited to go get
Yeah.
our teeth checked. So I definitely remember that when I was a kid, and just the excitement that the kids had on their faces when we got on the van, and like, and the other kids were like, "Did you get your teeth cleaned?" And we're like, "Yes, we got our teeth cleaned." So just the the experience and the excitement that the Ronald McDonald House brings to families, and whether it's the mobile, like the dentist mobile coming to clean their teeth, all the way to the Ronald McDonald House. And then you just I just learned something today that is worldwide. So it's that's I knew the one about in the city, and then when you came to speak at the award ceremony, then I found out you had two houses. But to find out that it's all over the world is definitely something that's amazing, and it really touches my heart that you guys are able to help families in that way.
Well,
um
I do want to say that it started here in Philadelphia, and yes, over the world. We opened a house in China. It was just a 10-bedroom house near the Beijing Children's Hospital. They have 1 billion people there last year. Uh, I want to ask your guests and audience to please keep our founder. Her name was Dr. Audrey Evans, oncologist at Children's Hospital, and she lived to be 97. She just recently passed away. Uh, and woman, she started a school here in Philadelphia called the St. James School at 32nd and Allegheny, very underserved area where the kids go to school 11 months a year. They do double math, double science, double English. They get breakfast, lunch, and have 100% graduation rate. She was active in the Devon Horse Show, and she did so much research to oncology, where a lot of people that would it used to be fatal see where there's a cure. So just please keep her in the light.
Yes, yes. I actually was about to ask you, like, how did it get started? So, wow, she lived to 97. I
Yeah,
know when they do the telethon, um,
yes.
they tell the story of how she started it, and how it got to where it is now. Wow.
Well, I
So
would love
we
to
definitely keep her in the
take.
light.
Yeah, what the way we got started, the Philadelphia Eagles were McDonald's. What happened was back in 1973, the Philadelphia Eagles had a tight end. His name was Fred, and he had a daughter named Kim. She was 3 years old, and she had leukemia. And you've probably heard the Eagles fly for leukemia. They fundraiser right away, but they heard about this amazing doctor that was over at Children's Hospital, the chief oncologist Evans, and the owner at the time was a gentleman by the name of Leonard Toes. He shared with his general manager Murray. He said, "You've got to go speak to this lady." So the way Jimmy tells it is that he goes over to Children's Hospital and he knocks on the door. Who is it? He says, "I'm Jimmy Murray of the Philadelphia Eagles." She says, "Who are they?" And he says, we're on TV every Sunday. She says, "I don't have a TV." He says, "I have money." And she says, "Come on in." And she started, telling him about her vision of having like a YMCA to keep families close together. And Jimmy, Philadelphia, we're a city of brotherly love, sisterly affection. What you need is a house. And the first house on in 1974.
Wow. Wow. Just that connection right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I guess
Network.
it goes what working together and connections and I can do. And I didn't mention McDonald's. The way McDonald's got involved was that the Eagles and McDonald's were using the same marketing agency. And McDonald's heard about what was going on. And McDonald's said, "Well, we'll buy the house. We only ask that you call it the Ronald McDonald House." And Dr. Evans said, "Well, if you're going to buy me a house, you can call it whatever you want to call it." and
Oh, wow.
and that
Wow.
was now 385 houses all around the world.
Yes. Yes. It just takes a vision and a community to believe in that vision.
Yes,
And now, wow. And now 49, almost 50 years later,
yes,
you're and you and the families that's utilizing the space, like that's just wow. That's all I
yes.
can say is wow. Because I'm thinking of the vision that me and Jordan have.
Mhm.
Um, and it's similar to the Ronald McDonald House. We want to do like housing for families that may be displaced because of that financial hardship,
Mhm.
and having them to have somewhere to stay while they get themselves together, and then encouraging them to either go buy a home or find a rental space later, because that I mean that was our history. We're actually looking to buy now. So
Mhm.
with the help of family members, we're able to stay with them, but that's still being displaced because you don't have your own. So
Right.
that's one of the visions that me and Jordan have, um, is making sure that we can buy a couple houses so that families can go. So it's quite similar. That's why I was crying so hard at the concert. I was like, yes. I was like, I know, I know, I know. Yes. So
Well,
this has definitely been a pleasure. And I know you got a full schedule today, so I want to make
well,
sure I honor
I,
your
I,
time. Oh, go ahead.
I I know I'm saying it to the choir because I know do for others that are dealing with special needs in regards to illness. And so you and Jordan, advocates for me, can always count on my support, whether it's getting your houses or whether it may be to add value. And again, on behalf of the families in the house, the staff, a heartfelt thank you for giving us the opportunity to share our mission. And any of listeners, your guests, are more than welcome anytime to schedule a visit of the house to see firsthand. You can share my information and they can reach out.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Stover. So like I said briefly, we're going to launch our kits. Like we're going to be donating kits. So we're going to do like a 2-week drive starting March the 18th to April the 8th, of collecting kits for the families under the Jordan A. Smith Foundation, and then we'll deliver it to the Ronald McDonald houses. So we'll be working on that. I'll keep you posted on the locations where you can drop off the donations. But we'll have flyers going out on our social media as well as on our website of how you can donate to the Ronald McDonald House, and that'll be We're going to try to do it quarterly, so that way we're donating multiple times to the families. But Mr. Stowe, I thank you for sharing your time today and sharing the history of the Ronald McDonald House, um, and just being able to continue doing what you guys are doing for the families. Can you share with the listening audience? I know you mentioned the website earlier, like the contact information again, and
Yes,
then any closing remarks that you want to share with the listeners.
yes. The website is RMHC Philly, PHILLY.org. And on that, that'll navigate you to everything in regards to if you're interested in volunteering, if you're interested in events, and other ways to get involved, or all you can navigate the web. My email is Anthony, Anthony, at rmhc.org. And anything that I can support, if you see something, you have a question, if I don't know the answer, I can get you in the direction. You can also email me if you want to schedule a time to come visit the house as for. And I guess lastly, I would like to again just give a heartfelt thank you advocates for me and the Jordan B. Smith Foundation on your continued support of the Philadelphia Ronald McDonald House. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Stover. So, to our listeners, thank you for listening today. We appreciate your time that you spent with us. And as always, take in the moment, enjoy your time with your family, and advocate for yourself, advocate for your child, and advocate for the community. Until next time, we will see you soon.
Thank you.